Cubing is too competitive. All the records will dry up soon. Cuban will die on October 15th. A lot of people are, weirdly, complaining that the new Chinese cubers that are finally getting a chance to shine are too good. I've also heard takes that cubing is gonna die in the relatively near future as records get more and more difficult to break. Some people even saying that the deadline for cubing is October 15th, the date of China's first post-lockdown comp. I mean, goddamn, that's just a week away, so let's talk about this. The first thing that we need to establish is what cubing is to people. That is, how people engage with it. Truth be told, the group of cubers that practice with the goal of getting national, continental, or world records is pretty small in the grand scheme of things. A vastly larger demographic is cubers that cube in a solo competitive manner. I mean, that is people who do try and improve and practice, but only with the goal of bettering their own times and beating themselves, something more akin to speedrunning than a competitive sport or a competitive esport. And a much, much vaster demographic yet is people who cube for any other reason, for fun, as a fidget, to flex on people, to develop methods, to learn and design new puzzles, an entire plethora of branches outside of speed cubing. So what? Why does this matter? Well, that immediately thins down the amount of people that are at all affected by raising competitive standards of cubing to just being a mere fraction of cubers. This isn't going to be some all-encompassing community event that demolishes the entire hobby. It will actually only make a mark on a select few. But okay, let's think about those people who will actually affect the people at the top of the game. I am downright willing to bet money. Scratch that. I would be downright willing to bet money, if I had any, that the majority of top cubers will not at all be annoyed by someone being faster than them. I mean, just look at the history of the community. The first thing that top level cubers have always done when their records were broken was to congratulate the new record holder. Any individual's victory is the community's victory. And furthermore, I'd gamble that all the people at the very top of the pecking chain likely aren't the type of people that are discouraged at a challenge. If you're going to reach the apex of any discipline, you're likely somebody who thrives with a grind and loves to chase the challenge. I doubt someone who's overcome all of the hardships of becoming, say, comfortably sub-6 will just see some fast young child get a world record and go, okay, I'm scared now. No more cubing. And just quit. If anything, a rising tide can raise all boats and motivate other top cubers to grind harder and smarter to get back in the race. But Swagrid, says somebody who thinks they have a point, how will we ever catch up when China has cubing coaches and the Cubing Institute? Alright, so we just do the same thing. Western cubers can get coaches too, or they could help coach each other in an even more collaborative effort than what the community already has, which is already a pretty damn collaborative effort, might I add. Potentially bad news for Jaden McNeil, but I think the buy a course and get an email about your video of your solves format of coaching, it might become a thing of the past, as a more personal and hands-on coaching approach, more akin to any other competitive avenue, begins to become more widely adopted. Hey, between you and me, if this coincides with the WCA getting sports organisation status, we're going to be in the money era. Cuban men, there's going to be stacks. Now, this might raise an issue for people who have the potential to be top cubers, but can't afford a coach. How do they keep up? Historically, the cubing community has been superbly generous, and paid coaching through videos or courses like you see on J-Pump's channel or Jaden McNeil's course, that's a relatively newer development. Now, there will likely be some disparity between people who can afford a coach and people who can't, but I believe the community will still have incredibly useful, top-notch resources available for free, and besides, top cubers talk to each other. So, while not having a coach might be a disadvantage, it'll just take more of a time sink for the solver to go and search for tricks themselves. It's a disadvantage and it will require a greater time investment, but it's not debilitating to somebody who has the skill and the commitment to be up there. Okay, but what about all the world records getting snatched up and becoming unbeatable, and then cubing's going to be boring because nobody's going to be getting any records anymore? Right, we move to a new system. We focus on titles. All of a sudden, becoming a national champion is important. Becoming a continental champion, even more important. World champion, god status. We focus on titles instead of records. It's as simple as that. In brief summary, no, cubing is not getting too competitive. Think about titles instead of world records. Cry about it and subscribe.